everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we are going to talk about e-ticket rides. We're going to rank 18 of our favorite Disney World e-ticket rides for you, so you know the pros and cons of all of these as you're planning your fast passes. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with number 18. This is my sort of least favorite e-ticket ride that we're talking about today. And that is Mission Space over in Epcot, and I know that a lot of you love it. This one is divided. You can either ride the orange track or the green track, depending on how intense you want it to be. Because this is sort of like a centrifuge, and it spins you around really fast. A lot of people get sick on this one. So just heads up, that's, one of the cons of this one. The pros are that it's really fun Imagineering. Lots of great detail and theming to this one. It's a fun ride. It just is bad if you're claustrophobic because you're sitting inside like a little tiny capsule, and it's no good if you are prone to motion sickness. So be prepared for that on Mission Space over in Epcot. We're going to stay in Epcot for number 17. I'm going to talk about Frozen Ever After. So this is the Frozen movie ride that is in Norway in Epcot's World Showcase. And this one was turned into a Frozen ride when they took away the Maelstrom ride that had been here for years and years. Frozen Ever After is fine if you have a little princess or a little prince in your family that loves the movie Frozen. They will love this ride. And it's a fun ride. It's a relatively fun dark ride. Has the same track that they had over on Maelstrom. So you, of course, go back over the falls and then come down, and it's really fun. But again, it's just a plain old dark ride, and even though it's one of the hardest fast passes to get right now, it is still not probably going to be your favorite if you're just an adult visiting Disney World. But if you have little kids, it's definitely got to be on your list. All right, number 16 is Dinosaur over in Animal Kingdom for me. This one's just really scary. It's really scary to me. So that's a con for me. People who have little kids or who maybe are a little anxious or jumpy themselves, asking for a friend. Dinosaur may be a little scary for you because there's a section of it where the dinosaur sort of jumps out at you and it's kind of spooky. But again, good fun theming here. Relatively easy to get fast pass as well. Okay, number 15 is over in Hollywood Studios. This is Star Tours. Star Wars fans are going to love this ride, and they keep adding new scenes. It's basically one of those simulator rides. So you're going to load yourself into a big simulator with a bunch of other people. There's going to be a screen in front of you, and it's going to shake you around a whole bunch while you're on a spacecraft. So lots of cool Star Wars theming, but again, this one is going to be not so great if you're prone to motion sickness. Okay, next we're going to head over to Test Track back in Epcot. This is my number 14. Test Track is really fun, and they've completely redone the ride, so now you can design your own car, and so your sort of photo pass at the end shows you in your designed car, which is really fun, especially fun for the kids. Pros on this ride is you're going to go really fast. You get to go that, 65 miles an hour at the end. There's other sort of cool theming in the ride. The whole premise of the ride is that you are riding on a test track, obviously, to test out to see how the cars are going to do. So there's lots of bumpy stuff and, you almost hit something, and it's fun. It's probably not a ride I need to ride a million times, but it's definitely a good adventure, especially for kids who love cars or who are maybe just hitting that height restriction where they're able to ride something like this. This is going to be a good sort of entry-level ride for your new thrill riders. Number 13 for me is Space Mountain over in Magic Kingdom. I think Space Mountain in Disney World suffers a little bit from the fact that I know that Space Mountain in Disneyland is so much better. So that's unfortunate for Space Mountain in Disney World, but because they have really amped up Hyperspace Mountain over in Disneyland, Space Mountain in Disney World sort of pales in comparison. But it's still the same sort of thing. You're still on a very fast roller coaster inside in the dark, which is cool in and of itself. I wish that the sound system was a little bit better here in Disney World, and I wish they had a few more of the fun Imagineering touches in the Disney World ride, but it's still a good ride, still a lot of fun, a classic as well. All right, next for me is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, still in Magic Kingdom. This is an outdoor roller coaster, really fun, really fast, lots of cool Imagineering going on. You are, of course, on a runaway mine train here, which, sounds a lot like another roller coaster in Walt Disney World, but this is a classic. It's a good coaster, maybe a little bit too fast and twisty-turny if you are prone to motion sickness, but great coaster. Good one to ride if the fireworks are going off, too. It's really fun to sort of watch the fireworks from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. All right, speaking of runaway mine trains, we're going to head over in the Magic Kingdom to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This is my number 11. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the hardest fast pass to get in Magic Kingdom right now. This is another really good one for your new thrill riders, your younger kids who are just hitting that height limit that they need to hit to ride rides like this. This is an outdoor coaster as well. What's really cool about this one is that when you are seated in the mine car, it sort of swings back and forth as you go around the turns, which is really cool. This is Seven Dwarfs themed, so you're going to see those seven dwarfs in the mines mining for gems. And then don't forget to keep an eye out for the old hag. That's Evil Queen as the old hag there at the end when you pass by the Seven Dwarfs cottage. All right, number 10 for me is Rock and Roller Coaster over in Disney's Hollywood Studios. I love this one. I am a big fan of thrill coasters, upside down coasters. This is the only upside down coaster you're going to have in Walt Disney World. This one is Aerosmith themed. It's also completely in the dark with a lot of blacklight paint going on. So the theme here is you are riding in a limo to the Aerosmith concert. The stage is set in kind of a back alley in Hollywood. So then you load yourself into that car. I always recommend being either in the front car or the back car, depending on which roller coaster you're riding. I like being in the front car on this one just because there's like nobody in front of me and I can see everything totally obstacle free. So anyway, I really like this one. I think it's a great coaster. I'm a big Aerosmith fan, so that helps a little bit too. If you hate Aerosmith, you're probably not going to like this ride. That's why this one comes in at number 10 for me. Next up, we're going to head over to Animal Kingdom to Kali River Rapids. This is sort of an e-ticket ride. It seems like a very easy fast pass to get these days because there's potential to get pretty drenched on this ride. That's one of the cons of this ride. There's potential to get really, really drenched, really, really wet, and a lot of people don't want to do that, especially in the colder months in Orlando. But I think that this ride has a lot of incredible theming to it, as all the Animal Kingdom rides do. So not only is it a good opportunity to have some fun and ride a really great Imagineered ride, but you also learn a little bit something here. So this is a raft ride, your typical raft ride. Your raft's going to sort of spin around, and on that last drop, someone's going to go through a big old waterfall. So be prepared for that and definitely pack some dry clothes if you are headed in on this ride. Also, bring your Ziploc bags because you're going to have to put your camera, your phone, everything, into your Ziploc bag if you're going to keep it with you on this ride. All right, number 8 for me is Tower of Terror back in Hollywood Studios. I love this ride. It took me a long time to get used to this ride because I always felt like I was having a heart attack on it. I'm not. It's just, that drop kind of makes your stomach go places it shouldn't go. So again, this one is not going to be great for people who are maybe prone to motion sickness, but again, great theming on this one. Twilight Zone, such a cool, such a classic show. And so if you're a big fan of that, you're going to find a lot of great Imagineering, a lot of great theming on Tower of Terror. It's a drop ride, even though technically you're being pulled down and you're kind of being jumped up and down, up and down, up and down the whole time. And what's fun about this ride is you really don't ever know what program you're going to get. It's never the same. So as many times as you ride, of course, if you're riding like 200 times in the same 2 days, of course, you're going to get the same program. But usually it's pretty surprising. You never really know what you're going to get over at Tower of Terror. All right, next we're headed back over to Animal Kingdom to Kilimanjaro Safari. I really like this ride. I think it's great for everyone in the family. Grown-ups, grandma and grandpa, kiddos, everyone can really enjoy this ride. A few tips for this one. You are on a safari vehicle and you're going out in the savannas of Animal Kingdom to see all of the African animals on the savanna. So giraffe and Ankole cattle, and there's cheetahs out there, there's crocodiles, there are elephants, lots of great animals to see. A tip on this one is to go either early in the morning or late in the evening before the sun sets so that those animals are more active because they're going to be much less active during the heat of the day in the middle of the day. So be sure to go in the morning or in late afternoon. All right, we're going to stay in Animal Kingdom. We're going to head over to Expedition Everest for my number 6 favorite e-ticket ride that we are counting through. Expedition Everest, again, incredible theming. Joe Brody was in charge of this whole park and he's brilliant. He's a brilliant Imagineer. He's incredibly creative. All of his details are incredibly authentic. He really internalizes the research as he does it. So it's really amazing just to wander through some of his creations. So go through the Expedition Everest line. If you have a fast pass, great, but if you have the chance to go through the actual line, that's kind of cool too. This is a coaster, partially inside, partially outside. Really good coaster. The section here that's going to be difficult for those that are prone to motion sickness is that backwards section where you're kind of racing away from the Yeti. You are literally going backwards in your roller coaster for a little while. That one is kind of messes with you with your tummy sometimes. But I think it's a great ride, really good coaster, and a lot of fun as well. All right, number 5, I'm going to go over to Haunted Mansion. Now we're getting into sort of my favorites that I need to ride every time I'm there. Haunted Mansion over in Magic Kingdom. Again, classic ride. They have Haunted Mansions in the castle parks all over the world. Different versions of Haunted Mansions, and so now I've been in a couple of them. Always a good ride. Do a little research beforehand and learn about the rides before you ride them, because it's really interesting to see who the Imagineers were that were on these rides and what they created and why. Again, Haunted Mansion's going to be a little bit scary for the kiddos, especially if they're super young or don't like dark rides or get scared easily. Haunted Mansion, even though it's tongue-in-cheek, is still pretty scary for those little ones, so be prepared for that. Okay, number 4 for me is going to be Toy Story Midway Mania over in Hollywood Studios again. This is a great ride. Everybody loves it. No matter what park you're in around the world, Toy Story is a hugely popular ride. This one you're going to be sitting in a ride vehicle and you're going to be sort of shooting a slingshot in a way at 3D images on the screen. It's not scary. Your little kids will love it. And it's fun because it has that competition element that always makes those rides more fun, because you basically have a different ride every time depending on who you're competing against, and you can also raise your score if you're just competing against yourself. You can figure out what the little Easter eggs are to get your higher score and keep riding it over and over again to get the highest score in the car and then the highest score of the day. It's a lot of fun. Okay, number 3 for me is Splash Mountain. I love Splash Mountain in Walt Disney World. I think it's a great ride. It's a very long ride, so be prepared. It's going to take a long time to ride this one. It's definitely worth your waiting time. This is, of course, a Song of the South themed ride. It's a log flume, and it's partially indoors and partially outdoors. So you're going to do some outdoor log flumage there at the beginning, and then you're going to head inside and see all of the fun characters from Song of the South: Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear, Brer Fox, etc. You're going to follow Brer Rabbit as he leaves his home and then of course makes his way back in a surprising way. So the big drop at the end is going to be that big log flume drop. It's pretty significant. It's a pretty big drop, so be careful with your kiddos if they're a little bit timid, and you may or may not get wet. I think you're going to get more drenched in the summer because they turn on a few of the extra little tricks to get you a little bit more rained on there, but again, you could come out of this completely drenched or you could come out of it completely dry. You never really know with this one. But I think the theming is fun. The ride just makes me happy every time I ride it. That's why it's my number 3 in Walt Disney World. Number 2 for me is going to be Soarin' over in Epcot. This is an exceptional ride. Now, this is going to be Soarin' over the world, I think is what it is now, because it's no longer Soarin' over California. So it's going to take you all over the world to many different locales. And the ride vehicle is kind of like you're supposed to be sort of hang gliding. So you're going to be sitting in a ride vehicle with almost a hang glider up above you, and they're going to lift you up into the sky, and you're going to look at this giant screen in front of you. And that's going to sort of be the experience. You don't physically really move forward or anything like that. You move up into the sky. So again, if people are afraid of heights, this one might be a little dodgy for them, although you don't really even see that you're up that high. Anyway, it's a great ride. Really exceptional music, videography, everything about it is great. I know a lot of you really love it out there, and it is definitely one of my very favorites in Walt Disney World. And my number 1 favorite e-ticket ride in all of Walt Disney World right now is, of course, Flight of Passage. This is in Animal Kingdom. This is the new Pandora ride. There's also a boat ride in Pandora, which is a decent ride, but Flight of Passage is absolutely incredible. You've gotta ride it if you can. I know it's really hard to get those fast passes. And remember, with fast passes, you can make your fast pass 60 days ahead. If you are staying at a Disney World Resort hotel, you can make your fast passes 30 days ahead if you're not. Flight of Passage, you actually get on sort of a motorcycle looking ride vehicle, and it's another simulator. So once you sit on that, which you're supposed to be sitting on a banshee, that's an animal that you're riding. There's again a big floor to ceiling screen in front of you that you're going to see 3D images that's going to take you on your first banshee ride. Very moving, really an incredible experience. They've done everything they can to evoke emotions from you on this one. Great music. There's 4D elements on this one. It's really impeccable, an incredible ride. I will ride it 3 times in a row if I ever have the opportunity to do so. So definitely check out Flight of Passage. Make that number 1 on your list if you can when you're headed to Disney World next. So that's my list of 18 great e-ticket rides and how I would rank them. And I'm gonna add one extra here. It's not technically an e-ticket, but I gotta put Spaceship Earth in here. I love that ride. That's one of my favorites. I have to ride it every time I'm in Disney World. That, of course, is the ride that's inside the geodesic sphere in Epcot. It's basically a ride through communication history, and it's been very similar since I was a little kid and an Epcot fanatic. It's one of my very, very favorites. So it's very classic, very nostalgic. So I had to have it on my list here as I give the pros and cons of some of these great e-ticket rides. So please let us know in the comments. I'm sure you will. Let us know which ones I'm wrong about, which ones you love, which ones you think should be moved differently on the list. And again, we all have different opinions about these. These are not set in stone. You let us know what you like, and I'm sure that our viewers will definitely benefit from your thoughts too. So give us a like and a subscribe. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. We really appreciate your viewership and keeping up with us on this fun adventure. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.